Welcome to this week's supply chain update, brought to you by Phoenix International. Let's start off with the latest on U.S. tariffs. The ongoing federal shutdown is beginning to slow trade operations. While U.S. Customs remains fully active, agencies like the FDA and EPA are working with reduced staffing, leading to minor clearance delays. President Trump has confirmed a 25% tariff on medium and heavy-duty trucks, effective November 1st, with some duty relief still possible under USMCA rules. Beginning October 14th, Chinese-built and Chinese-operated vessels calling at U.S. ports will face new Treasury fees, $50 per net ton for operated ships, and $18 per ton or $120 per container for Chinese-built tonnage. Tariffs on furniture and cabinetry are also set to rise on October 14th, and if no new U.S.-China deal is reached by November 10th, duties on Chinese imports could climb to 54%. Now turning to ocean freight activity. On the Trans-Pacific eastbound, Golden Week blank sailings have reduced capacity to around 65%, with recovery expected later in October. Carriers have postponed peak season surcharges to November 1st and plan a GRI on October 15th to offset falling rates. For the Far East westbound, demand remains weak with 10 to 20% capacity cuts through early November. Utilization is stable, but late October GRI may struggle to take hold. Across the transatlantic westbound, congestion persists across Europe, especially in Antwerp, Rotterdam, and Hamburg, causing 2 to 7 days of delay. Equipment shortages continue across inland Europe, keeping spot rates steady near $1,800 minus $1,900 per FU. In the air freight market, tight capacity continues after Golden Week. Flight cancellations in China and strong electronics exports are keeping trans-Pacific lanes congested, while Vietnam and Cambodia face ongoing backlogs. South Korea and Malaysia remain steady, and capacity is expected to recover gradually from mid-October as flight schedules normalize. Shifting to the Asia-Latin America trade, spot rates remain under pressure, with Drewry's WCI down about 1% week over week to $1,651 per FU. Carriers are blanking roughly 6% of east-west sailings to sustain utilization levels. At the Panama Canal, transits are up 19% year over year, easing congestion from last year's drought. Meanwhile, Santos and Itapoa in Brazil continue to experience yard constraints and short waiting times, while Mexico has deferred new tariff approvals on Asia origin goods, keeping near-term policy stable. Moving on to the news of this week, first, in Europe. Strikes at the port of Rotterdam have entered their second day, halting seaside cargo handling and delaying more than a dozen vessels. Severe weather has worsened congestion, and nearby ports are also struggling to absorb diverted traffic. Authorities expect schedule and inland transport delays to continue through the week. And second, in the U.S., carriers are preparing for new U.S. port fees on Chinese-built and Chinese-operated vessels, taking effect October 14th. To reduce cost exposure, many are reassigning ships and adjusting lease agreements, limiting the likelihood of significant near-term rate changes. Analysts view this as part of a broader effort to rebalance trade relations with China. And that concludes our update on the global supply chain. Thank you for joining us. We will continue to monitor these developments and keep you informed.